It looks to me like you are trying to go for the top.
No, you're not wrong. What I want to do is bring something new to the high-end market. We can make it in the US, but then it's a $3,500 kayak starting point.
Josh, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Josh Thomas. I'm the founder of Vibe Kayaks. Started it back in 2014. And for those that don't know, I exited Vibe early 2023, I think. And the last couple of years, my engineering team and myself, we've been hard at work on designing a new wave of kayaks. We launched the website, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, CaminoJourney.com. The brand is Camino Journey, Cajo for short, and we're now focusing on a new wave of premium high-end boats that I'll just be blunt here. I like to design things that I want to use, so they're really tailored around my specific form of fishing nowadays. It's boats that can do a wide variety of water types, from moving water to breaking through the surf to big bays. Boats for tight waters. If you know me well, I really like hybrid hulls. So there's definitely a brand new hybrid hull vessel in the fleet as well.
What is the hybrid do it all? Throw anything you want.
Sure. So the new boat is the Terra 116. It's 11 and a half feet long, 35 inches wide. It's a cross between a SUP flat style top, but you have the contours, watershed guides on the bottom to track and function like a kayak. And what you end up with is a very low profile vessel. It's just, to me, it's a lot more efficient. I get a lot of deck space. I can do what I want. I can be very creative with it instead of being in the cockpit of a kayak. I like having a vessel that when I lean and edge it, like I can put the edge just right in the water and just slide my game right up on the deck.
When you lean that boat a little bit and waves are splashing, you're not gonna flip over?
I mean, come on, bro. You'll flip anything, so.
This one, it looks like it has a little pod where you could put a pedal drive or spin drive.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? We have options for that too. A bow motor mount on the front of the Terra. We have a triple micro anchor power pole mount on the back. There's plenty of third-party motor options from Big Speed to Torqeedo, Newport, you name it, plethora of options. Before I did a pod system because I like the ability to interchange really quickly. But over the years, I learned that, or we realized that having a rotational molded pod in the center, just the sheer fact that you have a hollow pod up against a hollow hull can create play in that pod. This time I got away from the pod system and we're doing a true bolted in mounting collar. So it's a fiberglass reinforced nylon collar that mounts in place. So it comes with a base pod, you 6 bolts, that unbolts, collar goes in, then you can drop in your pedal drive, or if you're a fin drive user, which a lot of people out there already have like really nice fin drives, we have an adapter that drops that in. So it's up to you.
Something that everybody loves to complain about, pricing. I'll be completely transparent here. $1,200 for that Traverse Drive pod seems to be up there on the high end of high ends. How much is the pod for the fin drive? Like if you just buy the boat with the fin drive adapter?
It's $129 for the adapter kit.
All right, that's not bad.
So,
at least you're not losing 2 arms. So $129 plus, let's say you already have an S drive that sucked, by the way, or a Hobie 180 drive, which are really good. You're looking at this boat at $1,929, right?
Yeah, right.
So can you talk about that? Like, why is the price at that price range? And is that the price you will buy from a US dealer? Does that include the transportation, all that stuff? Like,
no, shipping will probably be extra. It will be extra. Yeah, so the pricing of our boats, right? So hybrid hulls range anywhere from, you can get some cheap ones probably nowadays. It's been a while since I've looked in the cheap kayak market, but the key difference with ours though, if you're really looking at the boat's bow to stern and what you're getting with that $1,799 starting point. So you have a true no flex deck, you have power pole access points, you have the ability to switch between a paddle mode and prop drive or fin drive. Ours includes the new Fatback Traverse rudder kit, which is turn on a dime. You definitely need to know what you're doing. If you're not careful and you're really moving and you just torque that thing 90 degrees, you're not gonna flip, but you might go swimming. And then of course that seat, right? That seat definitely carries a lot of the weight of the cost. The Horizon Pro seat has 8 positions without the perch, 2 more positions when you add the perch, armrests, drawer, gear tracks. When you're looking at comps, you're really only talking like a few $100s more than what's out there, but you're getting just a ton more with your vessel.
Let's just throw out 2 out there. You got the Pelican kicker, comes with the drive
and the links.
But this looks like half the price of that. So this is kind of like
and it's rotational molded, so it's roto molded, not thermoformed. So that does mean it'll be heavier than the links, but you can run it up against oyster bars, drag it. It's not going to tear through the hull.
But let's talk about that. It's only 66 pounds, right? I'm assuming that's just the bare bone hull, nothing added to it.
66 pounds is the weight of the material, but it doesn't include the brass inserts, the bolts, the hatches, the deck padding, all that jazz. So the rigged weight is 77 pounds. That's with everything on it, except the seat. The seat's an additional 12 pounds.
But it's modular. You just grab what you need at a time.
Yep.
It looks to me like you are trying to go for the top. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Back in 2014, everybody else was like, oh my God, fishing kayaks are awesome. Let's just price as high as the market will bear. So there wasn't a whole lot of option in that $500 to $1,000 price point. It's been done. We did it. Vibe is still alive and healthy. All my old legacy boats are still available there. What I want to do is bring something new to the high-end market and change kind of a similar mantra, being able to offer more with the boats. For me, when you're sitting on a kayak seat for 8 hours during the day, God, comfort, man, comfort. So we spent a lot of time on our seat. I'd probably say our engineering team spent almost as much time on the seat as we did as, the entire hull of some of these boats. I mean, that's a year plus of R&D, trial and error.
So the Outpost, just the kayak itself, we're looking at $2,099.99. You should get rid of that 99. It's $2,000. So that one, just the hull, it's with a seat, of course, on the rudder. We're looking at $2,000. It's not that bad of a price when you compare it to an STR or any of the other high-end models. 12 feet long, 12.8, 35 inches wide, 500-pound capacity. Again, it's in that 12-foot range.
It's in that battleship category. What I've explained before is, you have a wide range of, kayak types. I don't make full-on aircraft carriers. I like to get places. I don't want to fish just right next to the boat ramp. So I really don't cross 35 inches on my width. And I still I don't do a true box tail. I do a tapered tail in order to get some better water flow off the tail end.
You're going to love this question. So the Bonafide is made in the US.
Yes.
Everybody's gonna throw that at you. Well, the Bonafide doesn't have the rudder, doesn't have this extra seat. There's things that are amazing, right? But they're just gonna throw, hey, Bonafide, $2,000, US made. Your kayak made in China, $2,000.
Yep.
So what do you have to say about that?
It's really simple. That's fine. We can make it in the US, but then it's a $3,500 kayak starting point. That's just the way it is. It's the economics. I'm able to put a seat like the Horizon Pro seat on there, a rudder like the Traverse rudder. Include the hatches. I'm using an imported material that's a much higher grade than the local Chinese resin. Yeah, we can put a lot more on our boats. If we manufacture in the US, it's around $3,500, $3,600 vessel. I choose to fit all that stuff and still hit a competitive price point versus running that price up to what I think is the unrealistic price point.
Cool. Now it's just one air chamber, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't be a bad idea to have 2 or 3. You could do an inner hull, second hull, third hull.
Yeah, you can. You can do a whole catamaran style, if you wanted to, or
of a single. But why do you choose a single hull, a chamber? Weight? I'm not.
Price. No, it's not a price. Price is part of it, but I just like the simplicity of the single chamber. I like the width of these boats. Coming in at 39 inches. So I just went wider on this boat, as opposed to building multiple chambers and doing the whole pontoon thing. To me, it cuts into my usable space. I want to be able to stand wide. I want to be able to have gear without it being on a curved surface.
All right, but the other thing is that even though it's still just one chamber, even if a shark bites it, it's gonna take a little while for the air to come out. So you're gonna have time to go back to shore. I'm uptown from your old company there that it has a hole, and it takes month for the air to come out. But it takes a long time for it to get deflated. I actually had a bote rubber, the one that you could put the outboard on, the skip.
Oh yeah.
I put a treble hook through it. Actually, it went inside in 3 different spots. Even with those 3 holes and a 9.9 on it, it took hours for the air to come out. Like it took more than 8 hours.
Yeah.
So meaning
Yeah.
if you see you have a problem on the water or something like that, you're gonna have plenty of time to make it back to shore. The launch roadmap. When are we gonna see this boat in the US that I could actually walk into a dealer and buy one?
So as far as timing goes, we have 2 dates that we're working with. One is our wholesale launch. That one we're on track for a March 15th-ish delivery. The ish meaning like there's a big difference depending on where you're at. We ship globally. We have dealers all over the world. So, you know, if you're in Japan versus, you know, Alaska, you know, it can be a little bit different on delivery time. So March 15th, we are on track for our wholesale delivery.
2 questions that I'm gonna get for sure. I'm not covering the Flux Jet kayak because I didn't like how one of the owners treated me. So I'm not gonna cover them. I took the videos down and everything, but that kayak is $3,000, right? Or something like that. And it's made by Vibe. If you look at
it. Correction. It's made by Seaflow, which is the factory that manufactures all of Kayak Distribution's boats, including the brand Vibe.
So it's made in the same factory that makes these other brands, right?
Correct.
But that has a jet and it's $3,000. Your kayak with a drive is kind of like in that price range.
Sure. Yeah.
So why should I buy your PDL kayak over the Jet Flux kayak?
Tons of reasons. It really depends. I can't tell you to buy it over that one. If you want a jet kayak, dude, totally go get the Flux Jet, man. Like if that's the kind of boat you're after, go for it. Our boats are like fishing machines. They're designed for that hardcore fisherman. The Flux Jet, from what I see from it, is designed for the guy who wants a jet kayak. I mean, that's it. It's a hardcore jet kayak. It's a super cool concept.
But I know people are gonna look at that and be, oh, $3,000 already has a built-in motor, and this thing doesn't even have a motor, and it's $3,000.
It really comes down to how you want to customize your rig and what you're trying to do. Well, what if you don't want a jet motor? You know, why should I get this when for the same price I can get a used John boat, blah 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 for the same price? Like, you know, give me one reason. Like, okay, surf launch. There you go. Like
surf launch, recovery. Right? What type of waters are you covering with each? Can you just give a quick, hey,
sure.
If you fish here, get this. If you fish there, get that.
Yeah, so if offshore, big water, moving water, but not like, you know, class 3 moving water, your Outpost 128 is a solid vessel. The Outpost 100, it has a lot of the same, it has that same Pro seat on it, that same Horizon Pro seat, tons of storage. That one, of course, being a 10-foot boat, that's going to be more of your bays, your bayous, your lakes, reservoirs, any kind of flat water. It'll do better on a river, turns a lot tighter. Your Terra 116, that to me is my like more versatile. I push that in places I probably shouldn't myself personally, but I take it really far offshore. Now the Outpost 128 will be more efficient if you're going 3-4 miles offshore than a Terra. Terra is going to be a wet ride. It's a flat deck. Outpost 128 is going to ride swells and it'll stay drier and it'll shed water off the bow.
It looks like it's actually a product I'm gonna be able to go to a store, dealership, and see it. You know, so it's real.
Most definitely. Yeah.
It's real. So I'm thinking that maybe we should do the same thing that we did with Shearwater, where you and I get together and we build them up.
Absolutely. Plenty of options. And we'll do something cool for sure.